my friend. My name is PEtrovick, and for the past 25 years, I've been teaching, coaching, and training people how to create a better quality of life, primarily through the network marketing and home-based business profession. Today, I created a lifestyle that most people could only dream about, but it hasn't always been that easy. It has been worth it. And what I've learned over the years is that success and prosperity have a lot to do with our philosophies, our programming at the conscious and unconscious level. And I think the truth is, from time to time, we all need to get advice from people that are where we want to be. They've gone through the turbulent times and have prospered. They've become successful. A great question for you is, why is it that some people in your company have reached the top very, very quickly and maybe you have not? What's the difference? Well, I've created this series and it's called Prosperity and the Mentors. And you're going to learn from some of the best leaders, influencers on the planet. People who have created prosperity and abundance in their life on multiple levels. You're going to figure out how they actually did it. I want to take you behind the curtain, if you will, so you can figure out what was their mindset, what kind of shifts did they have to make, and what they actually did to create prosperity and abundance for themselves and their family. Now, today I have a very special guest. She's somebody that can take people and organizations to the next level, help them break through the barriers that hold them back. And, you know, we all have those barriers. Well, when you have somebody that can show you exactly how to accomplish that goal, that, my friend, is a beautiful thing. You're going to find that she's got a million stories. She's funny. She's done her research on human achievement, and she gets down to the root cause of mediocrity and can help you break through. And that's really what it's all about. She's got some amazing programs that are based on neuroscience and spirituality. I'll just give a couple of them to you. The first one is called Slay the Dragon, how to get out of your own way and get what you want. The next one is Conquer Fear, how to reject rejection and rock your success. That one is huge. This third one, I think, is my favorite, and is Don't Mess with the Princess, how women make it big in a man's world. My guest today is the one and only Lisa Jimenez. Lisa, thank you so much for being here.
Awesome, Terry. Thank you so much for having me and for hosting this show. It's so important to share this with others.
Well, let me just jump in, Lisa, and ask you this question. If you look at your life and where you are today, I mean, you absolutely live a life that people would just absolutely love to have. But has it always been that way for you, Lisa, or have you had a journey?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, I have. So just like you, I mean, there's been difficulty and there's been struggle, but as we both know, that is when you get to, you know, have a line of demarcation. Like when something happens that you didn't choose or you didn't want to have happen. For me, it was divorce. Also, like some betrayal in my business relationships. And then you really get the opportunity, Terry, you get the opportunity to look within and to say, you know what, well, first and foremost, how did I attract this? Who was I being that actually contributed to divorce, betrayal, hardship, rejection, whatever is the challenge, bankruptcy, foreclosures? I had 4 homes that I had to sell in short sale in 2008. That was a huge financial struggle and difficulty, but more importantly, it was a just brought on a lot of lack of confidence in my ability to be a professional financial businesswoman, you know, and really own my success, because one failure can actually cause you to lose confidence in all areas of your life. But we can't lose sight of the beauty of renewal. And that's what difficulty and loss and struggle gives us. That's the gift, the beauty of renewal. But Terry, you would agree, it has to be a conscious choice. That you and I, when faced with something difficult, we need to say, okay, how did I contribute to this? And what am I willing to shift, to transform, to own, and to make different choices in the future? And then first and foremost, what I want to bring to your messengers, or to your listeners rather, is the message that you don't have to wait for a breakdown to have a breakthrough. Right now, you can take a look at your life And you can bring awareness to your conscious thoughts. Like, what am I thinking about most of the time? And how can I elevate that emotion? How can I shift that limitation? What am I willing to do to release, let go, say no way to a negative relationship, a negative self-talk, a negative habit, a negative addiction, and really just be more proactive in our lives? So that's my message, most and foremost, Terry. It's, yes, helping people who went through struggle and hardship, which I have, but more so about what are you doing today to be conscious of who you are in the world, how you're received, who you're being, what's possible, tapping into your inner power, inner strength, inner connection with your creator to really become the best you without the hardship.
Mm. Wow, that's powerful. That's good stuff. Let me ask you, Lisa, when you think about prosperity, what would your definition for prosperity and abundance be?
I love that question. Wow. Okay, so for me personally, we have free will. We are the only created beings on this planet who has free will. So to me, abundance and prosperity is getting to choose whatever you want and fulfilling on that choice, like actually manifesting it and seeing it be a reality for you and for the ones you love and for others and your contribution. So the answer to me is just, choosing powerfully and seeing that choice coming to fruition.
I love it. I'm curious. So you've had quite the journey. Have you created any rituals for yourself, Lisa? Do you do certain things in the morning or do certain things at every afternoon or evening?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, 100%. The key to my success, the key to maintaining this level of prosperity and abundance and mindset, because I'm all about mindset. I mean, that's who I am, a mindset coach. It is my own rituals. So my own morning rituals, you want me to go through them right now?
Yeah, absolutely.
I know you're going to ask this.
Even the weird ones.
Okay, the weird ones. Oh, I got some weird ones. I love talking about this because this is where, if we have free will, we get to choose to put this in our lives, and it makes a radical difference. Like, it can radically transform your results by the rituals you create in the morning, first thing when you get up. Because when you wake up, you are again, consciously, you are again 0 point energy, which means anything's possible. So it is the habitual patterns right then when we get up in the morning that create the rest of the day, that create the rest of the week, the rest of the month, the rest of the year, the rest of your life. That's how much power you and I have with these morning rituals. So number one, I don't look at email or my cell phone for at least 30 minutes upon waking up. Right when I get up, I'm grateful. I just think about what I'm grateful for. I walk downstairs, every step, thank you, and connecting with my creator in the realm of gratitude and what's working and what I appreciate. And I actually visualize, like even this morning, I visualize you and doing this interview, Terry, and you don't know, but you are such a gift to me that you asked me to do this 3 days ago, because you and I didn't know that yesterday my family home in Paradise, California, with my 2 parents, both 84 years old, was going to be completely destroyed in a fire.
Oh my gosh.
And so when I wake up this morning and see the news that my family's home is gone and my parents are managing that, by the way, they're managing that beautifully because they're just amazing people, full of faith, full of hope, full of belief. You helped me, Terry. So when I woke up this morning and I'm saying thank you, like I said, thank you to Terry that you asked me to do this interview because you're making me present. Lisa, don't move into, oh my gosh, my parents lived there for 48 years. There goes our childhood memories. Don't go there, Lisa. So in preparing for this interview, it mentored me. It healed me. So even just that, Terry, it's just being so appreciative to even the little things, but then also the big things, the serendipitous, the miracles, the amazing thing called alignment, being in the right place at the right time. So I can't stress this enough, how important it is to be consciously disciplined with your realm of gratitude in the morning. And then as I walk downstairs, I drink a big glass of water. I actually put some healing essential oils in that water. I drink it down. before I even make my coffee, before I even have coffee. I go out and outside. Thank God I live in beautiful Southern California. And I sit and meditate for at least 30 minutes. My goal is an hour, but most days I don't make an hour, but at least 30 minutes. And meditating to me, Terry, is just sitting and not thinking about anything and just keep going back to alignment of my connection with what I call God, Holy Spirit. So that's a discipline. And then I get out a journal and I start writing. Then I go get my coffee. But I kind of been trying this out, like getting up really early and not even having coffee and just being with the morning for at least 30 minutes. And then I get out my journal and I start writing, what am I grateful for today? What am I going to do today? What's my intention? What am I excited about? Who am I going to share about? My Mindset Reset Masterclass is my latest project, and I'm so excited about that project. Who am I going to prospect? Who am I going to share that with? What am I going to say on my Facebook Live? And I get juiced up and excited about who I'm going to share this project with and the difference I can make. And then I really do go through I call it a prayer warrior journal. And I go through this journal for another good 15 minutes. So this is an hour and a half of my first morning. I'm in gratitude zone. I'm in connection and meditation. And then I'm in creation. What am I up to today? Who am I calling today? What Facebook Live and what am I going to talk about today? How am I prospecting today? What do I get to do today to move the needle? And moving the needle for me is more clients, connecting with more prospects, making a difference in my clients' mindsets, which will cause a different result for them. Who can I send a letter to? Yesterday, I wrote 7 thank you letters to my clients who are right now in my Mindset Reset Masterclass. So it's different every morning who I'm going to, what I would call bless, but in blessing them, who gets the biggest blessing? Me, the creator of that gratitude.
What about your evenings? I mean, you said so much there. There is something magical about the morning. One of my favorite things to do is to go outside when it's dark and then experience the transition into light. Something magical about that, isn't it?
I mean, just listen to the words you just said, just experiencing the transition of light. This is just, you guys, this is so beautiful. This is free. You get to do this. And then what does that do to your psyche? How does that transform your spirit? How does that expose your spirit? These gifts that you get to give yourself. So yes, morning rituals. I'm a big, big advocate of morning rituals. To answer your question about evening rituals, I'm really kind of loose with my afternoons and evenings. I more or less take it as it comes. I'm not as ritualistic as I am the morning, but the evenings, I just enjoy my new husband. I enjoy working. I enjoy relaxing. I enjoy serendipity. What do we get to do today? So I'm less regimented in the evenings, but very disciplined and regimented for how I start my morning, how I start my days.
I love it. I love it. Has there been a book, Lisa, or an item that you have gifted on a consistent basis to people?
I love it. Well, besides my own books, I would say, oh, wow, there's so many. I mean, there's a book written by Graham, Pastor Graham, and it's called The Power of Alignment. And that is the book that I've gifted to most people, The Power of Alignment by Pastor Graham. And then the other book I would say that
what's the theme of that book?
It's a lot of what I just shared about being disciplined with being aligned with what Graham calls your creator or your higher being or yourself. And he gives you ideas and disciplines to be aligned. And then what I would call that now here's more metaphysic conversation from that book that I take from that book. And I don't know if that's what Pastor Graham wrote the book for, but this is how I take it. How I utilize that book is I say, Lisa, you have a very clear vision. There's one thing about me, I know what I want. In fact, when Jeff was dating me, he said, Lisa, the best thing about you is also the worst thing about you. And I'm like, baby, bring it best thing or worst thing about me? And he said, I always know what you want. And he said, in courting you, that's easy for me because I get to, like, I know how to win with you. I know how to be successful as your courter and now as my husband. But also that's the worst thing about me. And I could imagine because I have very high standards and I love experiencing the best out of him and the best out of us as a couple. And nothing else will do for me, Terry. Nothing else will do than the best for us. So sometimes that means we have to have really tough conversations, and I make very powerful requests as I give him the space to make powerful requests of me. But to me, that's a great marriage. To me, that's a great friendship. That's a great business partner. That's a great mother-child relationship, me and my 3 children. Like, they can say whatever they want to me. They can make bold requests to me. I may not always fulfill on those requests, but I want to know. I want to know what they need, what they want, what they're feeling, what they're experiencing. So that's challenging for some people. Some people don't have the capacity to deal with that kind of, I don't know what you would call it, authenticity, but to get back on track on alignment. So to me, alignment is knowing what you want and monitoring that, honoring that. And when I get off-centered, which is every day throughout the day, I would just bring a conscious awareness to it, and I bring myself back to center, knowing who I am, what I want, who I want to be in this world, how I want to be received, the contribution I'm up to making. Nothing else will do. So alignment is being very clear, having amazing clarity, who you are, what you want, what your contribution is, and then noticing, catching yourself, kind of like a behavioral psychologist, which is what I am. So watching myself as a behavioral psychologist, ooh, Lisa, you were off with that. Get back on center, girlfriend. And with no judgment, Terry, just no judgment, just like, oh, in fact, I bring a lot of humor to it. Like, I even tell my clients to say, when they're out of alignment, oops, there it is. Oops, there it is. So we bring a levity to this. It's not about judgment. It's not about beating yourself up. In fact, if anything, my message, Terry, is to your listeners right now, ease up on yourself. Love yourself more. Have more patience. You are, in every day, in every way, you're getting better and better. And bring an awareness to who you're being in the world and be able to have the capacity to manage that. So here's an example. Sometimes I'm mean and I can just be a jerk to people. And I have impatience with people. And then I catch myself being that and I'm like, oops, there it is. And I bring a levity to it. And then I get back to center and I do if I need to apologize, I will. If I don't need to apologize, I just forget about it and move on, doing better the next time. Does that make sense?
I love it. Yep, absolutely. Let me ask you this question. Has there been a purchase that you have made, Lisa, for $100 or less in the last 6 months that has a positive impact on your life?
Oh, wow. I would say flowers.
Flowers?
Fresh flowers. I buy fresh flowers for our home every single week. And sometimes I even wonder, is it worth it? Like sometimes I'm traveling or no, you know what? The ambiance and beauty is a high value of mine, and I will gift myself and treat myself to that value. So how much is flowers? I probably spend $20 a week at the most on fresh flowers. So to answer your question, it's flowers.
So that makes self-love and self-care is important, right?
Self-love and self-care is so important, and it's not being self-centered or egotistical. You guys, if you don't love yourself, who's going to love you? If you don't respect yourself first, no one can respect you. It is all energy. So gift yourself the knowing, the understanding of what matters to you. What are your values? What's important to you? And not what someone else thinks should be important to you, what is important to you. And gift yourself that to the level that your budget allows right now. So if that's traveling, for me, it's global travel. If it's traveling and you don't have the capacity right now financially to treat yourself or your spouse or your family to a trip, maybe it's traveling in your mind. And every night you sit down at dinner with your kids and you say, okay, so we're going to Iceland in 2 years. Let's research that. What did you guys learn about Iceland today? I'm just making this up, Terry, because my daughter's going to Iceland for her birthday this summer. She's gifting that to herself, her and her boyfriend, going to Iceland. And every day, you know, they're researching Iceland and creating that beautiful anticipation. And in that planning of that trip, I have seen her evolve into just such a beautiful, excited spirit. And she needs to be, because she's a high school Latin teacher. So she influences these 16, 17, 18-year-old minds. And I see her evolving into this happy, beautiful, joyful young woman. And she always has been, but even more so now, Terry, for the simple fact that she's focused on creating her ideal of this trip to Iceland. Now, this is free. Planning this trip is free. So what can you do that's free right now that you can put into your life, or just costs a couple of dollars that you can put into your life that would actually create a new vibration from you, a new realm of happiness and joy and fulfillment, because you love yourself and you take care of yourself?
I love it. Let's move a little bit now towards success, business, and the human side of things. First, I want to ask from a personal standpoint, has there been a time, Lisa, where maybe you have struggled a little bit, or maybe when's the last time you struggled with prosperity and abundant thinking? And when you did, how did you process and move through that?
Yeah. Oh, okay. So it happened last week. And I shared this with my clients on my Mindset Reset Masterclass, laughing with them at myself. Because, oops, there it is. So here's the story. October 1st, which is what, maybe 39 days ago, we launched Lisa J Coaching, my brand new brand, my brand new website. And Sarah Young, my webmaster, created this with me. And it is just she did a beautiful job. Her and her team are extraordinary. And as of last week, I shared with my Mindset Reset Masterclass that we've only made a couple of sales. And I found myself judging that. Like, what's wrong with this picture, right? Like, what am I doing wrong here? What am I doing wrong here? And instead of, so this is what I shared with my clients is, isn't that interesting that the mind goes right to judging? Instead of saying, what if, and this is how I shifted it, Terry, is what if I just said, you know what, this is the success story. This is the results I got by day 33, and I'm gonna love these results. Like, this is my success story. And then today, it was on day 33, I can evaluate what I can do to create more intrigue, to have even better content, to look at the SEO, search engine optimization, like what can I make to make little shifts and changes. But what about making shifts and changes in a heart full of, this is my story. Who cares if it's only a couple of sales? And when we bring that to the network marketing or any sales or entrepreneurial venture, where you're going to hear no more than you hear yes. And as a mindset coach, I'm telling you, there's a radical problem with that. What's the radical problem? I can guarantee you, your mind is going to make up that everyone says no. It's normal. I mean, because it's like Pavlov's dogs. Whatever you hear over and over, you start expecting. So we got a problem here, don't we? Here's the issue. Anybody in sales is going to hear more no's than they hear yeses, and they're going to start creating in their subconscious mind that everyone says no. No one wants this, everyone says no. And then how do you think they show up for that prospect in their energy, in their alignment with the expectation of everyone says no? Even if they say, oh, this might be the yes, but their consciousness, their vibration, what they've been telling themselves, what they've been hearing, it's normal. The reality is most people say no. So we got some work to do, don't we? That's why those morning rituals are mandatory. That's why being in alignment is mandatory, because you have no against you. You have to be able to manage the no's so powerfully and hold your alignment that no, that only a couple of sales on day 33, that's my success story. All those no's are part of my success story. And that's great. That's okay. That's beyond okay. In fact, okay, here's the process. Can I just even teach my Mindset Reset Masterclass process right here, right now?
Sure, go for it.
All right, so everybody has an idea. Let's say it's right here in the pendulum, right here. And that the idea is probably negative. I'm getting a lot of no's. People are saying, no, this isn't working. Okay, I only got a few sales on my new Lisa J coaching. This isn't working. The mind goes there. I get that. That's normal, you guys. Everyone does that. It's unacceptable though. So we have to do something to bring the pendulum over here. But just to tell yourself, oh, you know, it's fine. We're gonna create success. It's not enough. You have to actually move through like what I would call like almost like a pendulum emotional scale. And maybe just start with it's neutral, which means it is what it is. It is what it is. I got a couple of sales by day 33. It is what it is. I got 7 no's in my prospecting over the last couple of days. It is what it is. You go to neutral. My parents lost their home yesterday. And when I spoke to them on the phone this morning, both of them said, Lise, it is what it is. It is what it is. So you go to neutral. And then from that space of neutral, I promise you, you guys, the human spirit is so amazing. That inner you that's beating your heart right now, that inner you that loves regeneration, that's literally regenerating your cells right now, that inner you that's causing you to breathe without you telling your lungs to contract or breathe, that inner you will take that neutrality. It is what it is. I accept this. It will take that position of neutrality and it will bring it over, because that's what the inner spirit does. It will bring it over to, I'm going to do better. I'm going to slay this. This is awesome. Actually, this is hilarious that I've gotten 17 no's. How funny is this, Terry? I'm going to get up on stage and I'm going to share with my team that I got 17 no's lately. So that must mean a big fat yes has to be around the corner. See? So you bring a levity, a lightness, a humor to it. And it's just, we get to do this is what I want to share with your listeners. You get to do this. And this is your privilege, because no other created being has a sense of humor. You don't see a cow when you're driving down the road cracking up at another cow who just told a joke, right? No other created being. So feel your emotions, tap into that emotion of humor, tap into that emotion of joy, even crying. Tap into that emotion of sadness. You know, a plant who needs to heal itself, you don't see it crying. But if you're hurting, my client had his brother just pass over a couple of days ago. He's hurting. So cry and allow that thesaurus of crying to heal you. Allow that levity and sense of humor to heal you. This is the beautiful inner spirit that we have, and we are a created being with these powers called emotions, and we can utilize them for our healing, for our expansion. And the planet needs that more than ever, Terry. Would you agree? I mean, Absolutely. Look what's happened in Southern California. I'm not even going to speak it, but this is what's going on. We need you, the listeners to Terry's show right now, the viewers of this interview. We need you to step up and strengthen yourself. How do you do that?
I love really what you're saying is that it's our job as individuals to take responsibility for how we show up and what we create and how we respond to it. We talked a little bit, Lisa, about meditation. How much, if at all, I'm thinking it probably does, how much does visualization tie into all of this?
Yeah, I will share with you, I'm kind of struggling with this right now because everyone tells me, you know, that meditation is so important, and I meditate every morning, but so often in my meditation, I find myself start thinking of negative things. So I'm struggling with, you know, like, how do you just release everything in your mind and be neutral and think of nothing without allowing things? So what I do in my meditation is I bring in a vision of beauty or connection, or my children doing so well in their independent, amazing lives, or that, you know, after 18 years of marriage, I struggled with divorce. I was single for 13 years, which is awesome in itself. And then I met the love of my life and I'm married now. Like, how cool is that? So I do discipline and focus on these visions, but I'm kind of struggling and questioning the assignment, the definition of meditation, which is emptying all thought. So to answer your question, I'm in the process of understanding what true meditation is, because for me personally, meditation is thinking of beautiful, empowering things and gratitude and bringing in visions of gratitude and beauty.
So do you
That's
visualize?
not emptying the mind, though.
Right. Do you visualize, or do you write anything down at all, or in terms of creating the life that you want to create for yourself? Do you take visualization that level?
I have a vision statement that I read every day to the point where I've memorized it. And I wrote it. Kyle Cease taught me this. I hired him as a coach recently, and he taught me to jump in the future and write about my success over the last 3 years in the past tense. And I love that. In neuroscience, I get that. In psychology, that is really powerful for the subconscious mind to hear you speak it in past tense, where I always taught my clients and myself to say, I'm so grateful for this got created, and I'm creating this, and this is happening, and I want this. No, he says, stand in the future. So 3 years from now is what I did in my vision. And look back and say, wow, can you believe this 3-year journey? Like, that was incredible in November of 2018 when I got to be on Terry's show. And what came from that was, and then you make it up, but you stand in the future speaking your past in past tense. That's a powerful shift in vision work. So yes, I speak that every day. I've written that vision where I'm standing and who I'm being in 3 years from now, the clients that I work with, how many Rich Life Mastermind retreats I've had, the connections and love that I have on a global basis with people around the world. I'm thinking of Anna Lee in Sweden and Ellen and Sissel in Norway. I mean, these are the clients I'm working with right now, and visualizing them in the past, right? Standing in the future, looking at the past, how much that retreat contributed to their success and to who they're being in the world and their contribution. So visualization and vision work is 99% of, in my opinion, of successful people's success story.
Yeah, that's good stuff right there. Yeah.
The other 1% is skill, like getting good at what you get and what you're doing and practicing. But without the mindset, the skill is just right here in your intellect and not out in the world spiritually making a difference.
Right. Let's say somebody is stuck financially. Perhaps they have the thinking that they're too old. They can't change their future. They've tried to start a home business, maybe 2 or 3 network marketing companies, never had any big success. Are there a couple of tips that you could maybe share with them to kind of shift that thinking again?
Yep. Well, first and foremost, you can tap into the universal field. So here's what I mean by that. Both with the reality of, so I took a class from Brian Tracy a couple weeks ago, and he said, are you in your 40s or early 50s and you're broke? He said that to his audience. He said, well, join the club. Really? And he said, statistically proven, a higher percentage of people in their 40s and early 50s are broke. And they don't hit that financial freedom until 55 or older, statistically proven, according to Brian Tracy's research. Well, tap into that. So there's second chances. Then tap into the reality of who are you seeing that is recreating themselves. They went from bankruptcy and short sales, and they've done it. So model them. They went from divorced and unhappy to experiencing an independence in their single life to meeting their next or their second wife or husband, and now they're married. Like, tap into the reality that's around you and model those success stories. Tell your mind, your heart, your body, your spirit that you're just like them and you're going to recreate your life just like they did. So my answer to that is modeling. First, the answer is tap into the reality that everyone is like you. You're not alone. And that's important because most of my clients, the biggest problem, Terry, is they go into solitude. They go into too much, I'm the only one. And then they don't even share what's going on for them, their struggles, their anxiety, their fears, they're beating themselves up because they think that they're the only ones that this happened to. Stop it. That's not true. That's not true. So you tap into that collective consciousness that a lot of people are where you're at right now, and they're making small shifts in their behavior, first in their thinking, and doing the disciplines to retrain their brain and actually recreating themselves, who they're being and who they're showing up in the world. And in so doing, they're recreating their lives, because that's the human story. That's us. You look at us, and we are regenerating every day. I mean, I don't know the specific stats. I actually memorized it a couple of weeks ago when I did a Facebook Live, and I don't remember it right now, but it's something like the stomach linings, the cells in the stomach lining regenerate themselves every 23 days. I don't know that for a fact, but it's something like that. We know that the epidermis, all of your skin, regenerates itself. We know the heart, the lungs, every part of every organ in your body is regenerating. Tap into that truth and that reality and just regenerate your life. You get to. There's a second chance. There's third chances. There are fourth chances. So the worst thing we can do is solitude or isolation and thinking we're the only ones. And the second problem we can do is think that we have no control over transformation or regeneration, when that is your birthright. That is what you're doing right now as you're watching me. Your body's regenerating. This is the spirit of you, is regeneration and renewal. So it's okay. And then the third thing is accept. Like, this is my story. My story, Lisa Jimenez, married my high school sweetheart, happily married for 18 years, went different directions, got a divorce, recreated myself, and poured myself into my clients. They helped heal me, poured myself into my business, toured the world as a single woman, moved to California, started dating, met the love of my life, and just got married 2 months ago. This is all a story of regenerating. You know, Terry? So like, give ourselves permission to do what the inner spirit, to do what the body does. Mm-hmm. Regenerates, recreates.
I love it. I love it. You're a wonderful example for this. Thank you for sharing that. Let's say, Lisa, somebody believes everything you just said and have said, and they believe they deserve to be prosperous and abundant. They get all the books, get all the tapes, go to the seminars. They went to Randy Gage's seminar and they're like off the hook excited. And then a week goes by and 2 weeks goes by and they are in that same spot that they were. How do they, as an individual, hold on and get to that state of bliss and possibility of creating that new future for themselves?
One answer: memory. This is one of our intellectual faculties. So it's a memory. So they went to the Randy Gage seminar. They got value from that seminar. They had a breakthrough at that seminar. And then 3 weeks later, they feel like they're back before the seminar. Their memory. So put yourself back into that Randy Gage seminar. Remember what you learned. Look over your notes. Look at that vision that you wrote. Remember how you were mad at him when he's yelling at you, like he has many times. He's my own personal coach. When he's just looking at me and saying, like he did about 19 and a half years ago, Lisa, you are afraid of success. You're sabotaging your own success because you're afraid to be wealthy. What's up with that, girlfriend? You need to start looking at that and making some shifts in your beliefs. Now, he said that to me almost 20 years ago. And when he said that to me, Terry, I looked at him straight in the eye and I said, who are you to tell me that? You don't understand my life. You don't have children. You're not married. You're already financially free. And I judged him for coaching me. Mm-hmm. So my answer to what happens when you go to a seminar and then you forget what you learned, you've got a memory. Go back to what you learned. Be coachable in your own imagination. And then pull out that book again. Pull out that vision statement again and try again. Work at it again. And then, gosh, give yourself some momentum. That's why these rituals are so powerful and your vision is so powerful, that you're reading it and feeling the essence, the being, the reality of that vision manifested, feeling it like viscerally, you're there. you feel that future like it's happening to you right now. That's so powerful, because then you're building momentum in your consciousness and your human spirit, in your way of being, in your posture and your confidence. So there's some work to do every day. It's like brushing your teeth. It's like eating and taking care of your body. You've got to take care of your spirit, and the future you will guide you to do that.
I love it. I love it. Okay, let's shift to some lighter questions. Let's say you had the ability, Lisa, to send everybody a text message tomorrow morning. Everybody in the world would see this text message. And what would that text message be for them to create a more prosperous and abundant life?
I love you, and you are enough, and you have all you need to make your life work, to make your life prosperous, to create beauty. Notice what you have right now. And I would just keep saying, just look for the love, feel the love, notice the love. That is the biggest piece, because self-sabotage and self-loathing is prevalent on the planet today. And that's what I see in my clients. That's what I have experienced myself. It is times when I'm in self-loathing or self-critical or self-sabotage, and no more of that. We've got to raise our standards around that. So what would my message be? I love you. You're enough. Find the love, find the reality that you're enough. Start with that point. And then I would even say, like, just God loves you. You are created in his image. Go be that image.
I love it. Thanks for sharing that. In the last 5 years, Lisa, has there been a new belief or behavior that you've adopted that has improved the quality of your life or the prosperity or abundance that you see?
The word that comes to me is surrender. The power of surrender, when I really let go of making it happen, forcing people, manipulating them to join me, overselling my product or service, just, in the dating life, making them like me, making him love me, forcing, coercing. Oh, it's exhausting, Terry. So I did all of that. And when I just surrendered to that and just said, enough, no more. I surrender to neutrality. Just, I'm enough right now. It is what it is. This is who I am. And really ushering in that self-love and that neutrality of, this is enough. Who I am is enough. My story's enough. My vision is enough. What I want is enough. And I matter. That's another piece. I matter. See, because when you're coercing and forcing and manipulating and overselling and making people like you or love you, you're just telling the universe you're not enough. But when you, as Randy Gage has taught me, and I've seen this in him, like, you are just, you just draw a line in the sand. It's a line of demarcation. Like, this is who I am. And you just put up with nothing else but being authentic. And this is who you are. And if people love you, they love you. If people don't like it, they don't like it. And then from that powerful position, from that powerful inner strength, you can make some really great requests of people. And maybe you make requests that, you know what, let's not hang out for a while, because I'm working on an aspect of myself and it's challenging to be around you. So my request is that you don't call me for a while. Like, there's some people right now, you listeners and viewers, that are in your life that you need to take a break from, and make a request that you take a break from each other in the relationship or the friendship or the business conversation or whatever it is. Maybe it's a habit, and today's the day you need to surrender and let go of that addiction, of that habit, or that thought, or that self-loathing, that limiting belief. You know what that is. So in that realm of surrender, it's just, what's on the other side of surrender, Terry? Wow. The other side of surrender is pure possibility, abundance, prosperity, more than enough, the spirit of creation itself.
I love it. I love it.
But
Okay, let me ask.
Willing to be quiet enough, to not force something enough, to just be with something enough. like I have a story for you. I coach this, one of my clients owns a helicopter business, aviation. And one of his helicopters crashed. And the media was awful on his company. And I asked him, I said, okay, what's our strategy here? Like, what are you going to say to the media? And like, I'm into do mode. And he's like, you know, Lisa, the best thing I can do right now is nothing. Because sometimes when you do nothing, and this wasn't his words, but this is how I received it, the universe takes care of the problem. We live in a universe that is self-creating, it's self-balancing. So just say nothing for several hours. Do nothing for a day. And he surrendered the circumstance and it started taking care of itself. And I found that strength in my client. So inspiring. Sometimes the best thing we can do is nothing. And just be with the circumstance and situation and watch how God, Holy Spirit, universe self-corrects it. And our influence on it, our doing, our rushing in to fix it would cause a bigger problem. Sometimes the best thing you can do, my friend, is nothing. And let the universe recreate or self-correct itself. It takes great inner strength.
Yeah.
But I saw that in my client, Terry, and I said, I want to be more like that.
Very good. It's almost like he actually went back to neutral there for a second, right?
Go back to neutral. And
yeah.
I can't tell you like how many times it's been applied to my life. I had a falling out with a business client and I'm forcing us to make up because I want to have love with every person. And the more I forced us to make up, the more this person rejected me and I had hurt this person badly. They hurt me badly. And so I ended up doing nothing. And in a couple of months, it took several months, this person sent me a letter. And in the letter, it was an apology, but I love this letter so much. It was not an apology. It was just an appreciation that I am in their life and I've been in their life. And I think that is just the coolest letter because this person didn't feel they needed to apologize, even though they did me wrong. They weren't asking for an apology from me, even though I did them wrong. I thought this was just the coolest letter. And this person just wrote a letter, full page handwritten letter of their appreciation of me in their life.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool. One last question for you. Do you have an unusual habit or thing that you love, Lisa?
Yes. I hum and sing all the time to the point of annoyance. I don't have a really good voice, Terry, and I love the ukulele, and I'm not that good at the ukulele, but it brings me so much joy. I don't care if I can't sing that well. I love to sing, so I'm humming and singing and playing the ukulele at nausea. So that's kind of a habit, but it brings me joy, and I'm sorry for all the people that live with me and have to be around all the humming and singing and ukulele playing.
Oh, that's fantastic. I just love that. I have this image in my mind of you sitting there playing the ukulele right now. Well, Lisa, I just want to say thank you so much for being who you are. You know, you're just an amazing woman, powerful creator, such a light for so many people. And I know everybody who's watched this or read this or heard this has gotten huge value out of it. But if they want to connect with you and they want to learn more about you and what you do in your programs, what's the best way for them to connect with you, Lisa?
Yeah, thank you, Terry. So go to www.lisajcoaching.com. lisajcoaching.com.
Fantastic.
Also on Facebook, lisajcoaching.com. I post every Friday, the Fearless Friday show, and I'm very active there. Yeah, so that's how you get a hold of me, lisajcoaching.com.
It's a beautiful website. Well, Lisa, again, thank you so much for being here, my friend. Thank you so much for spending some time with Lisa and myself today. I think you got a little value, a couple of tips and strategies that you can apply. I know I got a bunch of them. So, Lisa, thank you so much for sharing. I want you to understand that you can create prosperity and abundance in your life. As Lisa said, it requires self-discipline and choice. And I'd highly encourage you to do what she does about creating a routine for yourself every single morning to go back to neutral and creating something positive. I appreciate you. If you want to connect with this interview and other ones that we have coming up, just go to terrypetrovick.com/mentor. terrypetrovick.com/mentor. Make it a better than terrific day, my friend. You absolutely deserve it. Until we talk again, bye-bye for now.